Yeah, and we like Skype as well. What have we got tonight? Well, besides the Viz letters, we'll be looking for our favourite three, I think, and I think I've got one that's going to get in the top three. Around about 8:30, we're handing over to the United States. John Wright, who, if you have heard some of our earlier efforts, you'll know John Wright is an American talk radio broadcaster in the States, and he likes what we're getting up to at PlayRadio. We're going to hand over to him for 10 or 15 minutes just to hear what it sounds like having a show hosted live from the United States. John during the week was talking to somebody really interesting about some strange aspect of computers, and I think his plan is to play us a couple of little clips from that, and then we can all kind of like put our heads together about what this guy's on about. Around about an hour and a quarter in, we're going to be meeting the British Riley Martin.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, if you were listening a couple of weeks ago, you'll have heard Riley Martin fall out with Duncan Barkis. Big time. Big time. That was good.
You, sir, are a roach.
Yes.
Insult to the Queen.
Riley Martin said, you're a disgrace to your Queen. And Duncan held his own. But Hilary Gough is a lady who lives in the very normal south of England. That's not to say Riley lives in an abnormal part of the United States, but Hilary Gough lives in a very normal part of Britain called Farnborough, I think.
That's where I live.
Yeah. And she has been abducted, something like she was telling me when I spoke to her during the week, abducted 30-odd times by creatures that look not unlike tortoises. Although you see, you're off already, you guys, aren't you?
No opposable thumbs. How could they abduct anyone?
I think she just means that facially. I don't think she means that they are actual tortoises.
Right.
Because let's face it, you could run.
Yeah. She must be good looking 30 times.
Yeah, well, yeah, I don't know what they do. We will find out what they do to her. and also, because now that we've got a very visual element to this, remind me, Stuart, how, if you're on your PC at the moment, you can keep the sound up so you can listen to this nonsense, but you can also get you can see what's going on.
You can if you open your web browser and you go to tommyboy.servebeer.com. It's tommyboy.servebeer.com, and it should pop up a couple of webcams and you should be able to see what's going on.
Servebeer.com.
Which I thought was quite appropriate.
It's good, yeah. I think again, my wife, she wants to have a look at it.
It doesn't always work in Firefox, apparently, so for those techno-savvy people that have Firefox, it might not work in that.
And just remind me, when you say open the web browser, what you mean is go to that little bar across the top that you can type. You don't have to, but you could type the whole HTTP www thing.
Don't put the www.
But you don't need that.
No.
But that's the place where you put
That's where you put it.
tommyboy.servebeer.com.
That's it.
Okay, listening on your PC, if you would be kind enough, if you can see, for example, what's going on this evening, just to prove it, am I better looking than I was last week? No, I don't at all. But we are looking to do some visuals, and this is not...
Wow, what have we got here?
Well, this is not where it's going, but I've worked an awful lot with hand puppets in children's television. And as is so often the case, much the better stuff was done when the cameras were down. Because when the cameras are up, the puppets say things like, it didn't used to be me doing the puppets, obviously. But the puppets would say things like, "Hello, Tommy, what's on children's ITV today?" And I would say, "We've got, whatever." But then the cameras would go down, we go to the thing, and they'd say, "You're a fucking arsehole." And the whole crew, you see. And it was funny. And I used to say to the puppeteers, I used to say we should do more of this, we should go out on the road with it, or something like that. Because it used to be great, and I used to say to them, because you're just a bit of felt, don't you? Fuck off. You are. You're just a bit of cheap felt. In fact, you're not. I got you for $8.99 in that toy shop in Chichester, didn't I? And this guy here, he's purely visual, because this fella is not a puppet at all. He's a soft toy that one of my sons, he's probably 20 years old, been lying around in the attic ever since. But it struck me, supposing this guy is a little bit kinky, okay? Alright? And he's attracted to birds of this sort of kind. Then it just struck me.
That's
okay, and then she goes away. Alright then. Alright then.
This is something just extremely entertaining about children's puppets doing adult things.
Exactly. So we will get on to that a little bit later on. I apologise now. Well, I don't apologise for the immaturity of all of that, because, you know, we all function at a range of levels. Now, how are we doing on Skype, Stuart? Are the chat rooms up and running?
Yep, everything's up and running. If you can't get into the chat room because you don't know how, drop me a message and I'll add you. It's quite simple.
Okay.
Play.radio.uk.
Now, what I like about it is that people are talking along with what we're saying, partly about, presumably, what we're talking about and saying, but also having conversations amongst themselves.
That's right.
Can you sort of give us some idea of what people are going on about?
At the moment, they're having a discussion of whether or not the webcams are working in Firefox or not, which is one of the mentions. And Jay says he can't see any strippers yet, though.
We're going to get there, because there's this big space behind, right here, which I think needs something.
Big screen porn.
Yeah. What I toyed with doing was...
I can get naked if you like.
No, come in. Having said that...
That wasn't quite what...
Come down here. This man just said he could get naked if we wanted.
This is the Dark Lord from our rock station.
Yeah, excellent. Well, just lift your T-shirt up then, and we'll just see whether it... No, don't go. Well, you're all right if you want to do the whole thing,
Can't get naked on
the whole bit. I'm not putting a £5 note down your trousers.
You don't want to see.
Actually, no,
Really
we don't. No, sit down.
I was on the beach earlier today and it wasn't pretty.
I'll bet it wasn't. But that's James, anyway, and it's good to have him along. It's Tommy, and it's Stuart, and Matt and James. Lee's around this evening. If you care to contribute a Human Zoo flash, in other words, come through, go to air, do what you want to do, say what you want to say, be it an enigmatic epithet, or a joke, bad joke. Oh, I wrote a joke this week! Hey! I don't know what to do with it, but it's good. Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Where do you go to buy a northerner?
No idea.
eBay gum. eBay gum. Because what's funny is not the joke, it's funny is the idea of somebody wanting to buy a northerner.
Possibly.
Darling, I think we're out of Mancunians. I've got a Cumbrian. It has to be a Mancunian. It's Tuesday. Oh.
Would you have a larder for northerners?
I don't know where you keep a northern. You buy a northern, what would you do with them?
Where would you keep a scouser?
A scouser?
Surely.
Good to eat? I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, so that's an original piece of humour. But what we're going to do now, just for 5 or 10 minutes, is to concentrate on a really great piece of English literature, which is the Viz Letters page. And it's a parody of all those horrible little stupid letters that you get in those scrawny newspapers and bad magazines. The Letters page, where you win £5 if you can suggest some way of saving a few pence in the kitchen, and so on, so on, so forth. So can I start out with one?
Go for it.
I want to go first. I love this one. This is a letter in Viz. I was shocked to hear Home Secretary David Blunkett say that Britain's prison population has been ballooning for the past 10 years. Those people are there to be punished. Not to be given the thrill of a lifetime that most law-abiding citizens can only dream of. Mrs. C. Close, Headingley. Can you imagine? All those shoplifters in a wicker basket. Anyhow, Stuart, have you got one?
I've got one off the website, actually. It says, I've just seen the flooded state of Gloucester on the telly. I've been boycotting the place for years for just this reason. All the smart asses who mocked me and made up stupid rhymes about me are laughing on the other side of their faces now. Sail on, tossers. Dr. Foster from Cheltenham.
Fabulous. Matt, this was your idea, sort of. What have you got?
Well, I've actually got 6. So,
Go on, then.
I'll give you one to start with. My friend's mum recently pointed out that I have the same ironing board cover as her. Can anyone think of a more mundane and pointless remark to make than this?
Excellent.
Alan Daniel.
Excellent.